Here are all my lovely jars. They look beautiful so far.
Ooh, it's ready to be alive. Ooh, it's ready to be left tonight. Ooh, it's ready to be alive tonight.
Hey guys, and welcome to the lot. So this is kind of a spur of the moment kind of video. I was harvesting my apples today before the birds ate them all, and I was getting ready to make some apple butter and can it up. And I just thought as I was sitting here peeling apples that maybe you guys would like to see how I make and can apple butter. Well, let me show you what I've got so far. Okay, don't pay any attention to all the junk on my table because I just scooted everything to the side so that I could do this. But anyways, this is my scale and I zeroed it out. I've got a big glass thing here. This is what I've cut up so far. But I zeroed it out, so I've got almost 2 pounds of apples and I need to get to 6. Let's hope that I can make it there. This is my knife sharpener. This is very important because it's easier to do a sharp knife. And these are my apples, and it doesn't matter what they look like. My apples always get so icky looking because we have a lot of fungal stuff here in Tennessee. I mean, look at that. That is just so gross looking. But the thing is, you're going to peel them. So, you know, it doesn't matter. And some of these, oh look, there's a bad place. But I'm just going to cut that out and get the inside. And bird was pecking at it. It's the inside that matters. Here on the lot, we use what we can. So I'm just going to peel these. And of course, I'm going to keep my peels for my garden. And peel them and core them and put them in my bowl. And I'll catch up with you guys later. Okay, we have hit 3 pounds, but as you can see, my bowl is full. So I'm going to have to empty this bowl and probably empty this one again. I had already emptied it once, but looks like I got about half my apples to go. So it looks like I will hit 6 pounds. Yay! I cannot believe this. This is amazing because remember my first batch was just a little bit over 3. This one's a little bit under 3. Man, this is perfect. That is a gift from God right there. God is good all the time. All right, I'm going to take these puppies in there and I'm going to rinse them and I'll meet you at the stove. Okay, since you've seen me last, I rinsed off my apples, and yes, they are nice and brown because they're oxidating because of the air, but that's fine. They were nice and white when I peeled them. It doesn't matter. Once this is all boiled down, it'll be brown anyways. And I put in 2 cups of... trying to turn around here for you. 2 cups of apple cider. Now before that, I cleaned my stove area really good and the area over here where I'll be canning because cleanliness is really important, and I just used...
I don't believe that.
I just went ahead and used my Dr. Bronner's soap. Have you guys ever read this bottle? So weird. But anyways, I use that. So everything's smelling good. And I'm getting my canner water ready. And I've washed all these jars in the Dr. Bronner's. And got water in here. And I don't use the rack. I actually use just some cooling racks in the bottom. I like it better that way. And I added a little bit of vinegar to the water because the water here in Powell is hard, as you can see by the nice little deposits here. But yeah. And my camera's getting steamed up. But the vinegar will help my jar stay nice and crystal clear. Otherwise it kind of gets a chalky little film on it. But that's fine. You can wash it off. Rub it off later. But back to the apples. These are going to simmer for about 30 minutes until they are soft. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, one thing I failed to mention as these are coming up to a boil. Make sure that your pan is stainless steel, not aluminum, stainless steel. You need stainless steel. Aluminum can react, probably not so much with apple butter, but if you had vinegar, it could definitely react and make your batch taste off. So Alright, we got that, and I am soaking my lids as well. And also, always prepare more jars than you'll think you'll use, because you just never know. A jar can bust on you when you take it out of the water, or there you may have more in your batch than you expected. But always prepare more jars, because if you don't use them, you just stick them back in the closet and that's fine. But alright, let's boil these things down. Alright, they're cooking down. Look, they're getting kind of mushy. There, look. Remember, we started with almost a full pot. Now it's getting down to almost a half a pot. And you just keep stirring it and getting the big apples down there into the liquid, so that they can get nice and soft. We want them nice and soft and mushy-like. Okay, we are just about done here. As you can see, it looks kind of like chunky applesauce. And everything is cooked down into the liquid now, so that's good. I'm going to continue to stir it, and I use a plastic spoon because you want to make sure that your apples are soft. So if you can go like this and they smush through the apples, then you know your apples are soft enough. There's a few in here that are not being able to be cut by my spoon, so I'm going to cook it just a little bit longer. Alright. It's looking good and it smells good too. We got a good level of smushiness going on here. So the next thing you do is you're going to turn off the heat, and then you're going to take it and you're going to put it into a blender if you have one. If not, you can just use a potato masher and that'll leave it a little chunky. Or if you want to leave it a little chunky, you can use a potato masher. But yeah, you're just going to put it in here and blend it up a little bit. Alright, it's all blended and back into the pot. Now we started off with 6 pounds of apples, and yes, they all cooked down. I know it looked like a lot at the beginning, but it's all cooked down to this. And 2 cups of apple cider. Now we're going to put in half a teaspoon of clove and 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, and then you can use 3 cups of sugar, or if you don't like it that sweet, 1 cup of honey. And this is Tennessee honey. Alright, so I'm going to pour this in and get started again. Okay, you are going to stir this up and until your sugar and spices and stuff get all nice in there. You see that I did leave some chunks. That is fine. I didn't want to keep blending it and blending it, and I like a little bit of chunks in there. But yeah, you can see that my spices still need to be blended. Like there's a big clump right there. Now this is the part that you could really mess up. You need to stir it, I don't want to say constantly, but often. Like you don't really need to leave the stove. Usually what I do during this time is I start cleaning up the kitchen a little bit, and I might wash a dish and then come back and stir it. Wash another dish, come back and stir it. You really got to stay with it, and it's going to take about 30 minutes until it sets up. And you want a plate chilling in the freezer. Now I have to admit, this is the part I've never really been good with jelly and butter, but as you can see, this is real runny right now. Definitely not a jelly type product, or butter like product. So we're going to let it cook a little bit more, but got to keep stirring it or it'll scorch on the bottom. Alright, I'm going to show you how to test this. This is going to be kind of hard because I've got one hand, but I'm going to try. Alright, you can see that it's kind of thick on the spoon. You can't, if you go like this, you're not going to be able to tell, but once it gets down to the end, see how it's kind of gloopy is the word I like to use. And the way you can test to see if this is done, this is my plate. It's been in the freezer, and you drop it down. Turn this off. You drop it down on your plate, and first you look and you see that there's really no liquid. It's not separating from the liquid. Now you might see a little bit of liquid around it. That's from the plate where it's been in the freezer and it's starting to sweat a little bit. But now, can you see, I'm tilting the plate. It's completely vertical right now, and this is not running at all. This is the first one I tested. This is not running. Your butter is done. If this thing slides down the plate, then it's not done. I wish I would have tested it before to show you the difference, but yeah, this is done. If it's holding its shape, look, I'm even shaking it and that's not moving. So this butter is done. So now we're going to go on to the canning stage. Alright, I lifted my jar out of the water. It's all nice and hot, and you want that because this is nice and hot. If your jars were not hot, you would be in a world of hurt. Now, a lot of people use like a measuring cup to do this. I just use a spoon. I don't like to dirty up more than I have to. I jiggle it around a little bit, then I lift this off. And this is hard to do one-handed, but then you're going to stick down a little tool. It doesn't matter. It could be a chopstick, whatever. Just something. You're going to just push it down and go towards the middle a little bit because you're trying to get out all the air bubbles. And then you're going to check the head space. Now this on here actually has the measurement. And we need 1/4 of a head space. So I'm going to do like that. And we're just about there. I think we're pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and first I'm going to just put a little bit more in there. That's pretty good. And then you're going to wipe this off. Now a lot of people will put their bands on and then put this on and fill up, but I just think that's more work. Then you're going to get your lid and you're going to put, dipped in apples. Alright, and then you're going to put this on here, and then you're going to get your band and you're going to do fingers tip tight. That means you're going to do it like this, not like this, just like this. Alright, and then you're going to put it right back in your hot water. I can't do this one-handed, so you're just going to have to believe me that I'm getting ready to do this. Alright. Alright, they're all in there. Remember what I said about prepping more jars? That was good because that big one right there in the middle was one of my 2 extras and I filled it up. I went ahead and took out the other big one and I do still have a little bit left, but not enough for a jar, and I ran out of jelly jars. You know, you use what you have. So I'll just end up putting this in the refrigerator and we'll eat it because Jeremy's already been up here snacking on it. And we're going to bring this to a boil, and you can see that the air is already starting to release out of the cans, but we're going to bring it to a boil, and once it gets to a nice boil, has to be to a boil first, must remember that. Once it gets to the boil, then we're going to set the timer for 10 minutes. Alright, it's been 10 minutes. Now you see I've got a pot holder on the top here because I always forget and grab this thing, forget it's hot. But you can see they're nice and boiling. They look pretty good. And I turned off the heat, took off the lid, and I'm going to let them sit in here for 5 minutes to kind of settle down before we pull them out into the cool air. And then we are going to put them on a folded up towel and then put a folded up towel on the top of them so that they they won't cool down too quick. But yeah, we're going to let them cool down for just a little bit. Here are all my lovely jars. They look beautiful so far. And now I'm just going to cover them up with this towel. Which is hard to do one-handed. There we go. And these will actually, it's like 9:30 at night right now. These will probably actually be even slightly warm when I get up in the morning. And tomorrow morning I'll take off the towel and let them finish cooling down. But slow and steady is the name of the game. So there we go. Towel underneath, towel on top. Alright, I just said it was like 9:30. It's 8:30. Okay, this mama is tired. It's taken several hours to make my apple butter, but it turned out so good. Very, very good. Alright, I'm going to jump off here and I'm going to go take a shower and enjoy my evening. If you've enjoyed your time here with me in the CornerLot Life Kitchen, please hit that subscribe button down below. It will let you know when I've got a new video and a new adventure. You can also find me on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook, CornerLot Life, all one word, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Well, I think I'll head to Knoxville to see some friends.